And we are live. Hello, people. What's up? What's happening? This is yet another episode of Musicmandir Podcast with me, Akash, Jatin, and Shravani.
It's number 3.
It's podcast number 3. We're obviously going to put.
Yes.
We know that. Of course, we know that. It's podcast.
Yeah,
It's not like we have a history of making podcasts.
Yeah, but the people
Yeah, for the people who are
really good at this.
Yeah.
For the people who are just tuning in, you got to know that we are just starting out. So any suggestions or comments that you might have, you please feel free to either DM us or leave your comments in the comment section, of course. And
Yes.
we will try to jump into this without any further ado. So what is up, people? What have you been listening to, Shravani? How has your week been and what have you been listening to?
Guys, this week has been very intense. And I've been thinking a lot about freedom and stuff because, it's Independence Day and I'm feeling all patriotic. But I realized that, like freedom is not the same meaning anymore. Like we live in such a different world and the meaning of freedom has changed so much. And in some ways, I think we're all still not that free. And
We're
of course,
prisoners of
it's
our own
now.
thoughts.
Definitely. So that's what. So it's not external things that keep you from doing this, but yourself. So this week's most amazing recommendation is a song called Her by an artist called Linoy Gole. And guys, this song has it's so full of soul and it just lets you feel all the things that you don't let yourself feel.
Wow.
So I definitely recommend everybody to check it out. Yeah, and
Oh,
she's
that's her profile.
that's her. That's her.
Awesome.
And her vocals are beautiful. The sound of her voice just talks to you. It's just really amazing. And she's pretty
That's
young, She's and the kind of meaning and depth that her music has, it really spoke to me. And
awesome. I think
guys,
we should
definitely check it out.
I'm definitely gonna check it out.
What sort of music does she make? Is she like she looks like a singer-songwriter, acoustic
Yeah,
stuff,
correct,
right?
correct. So she does soul pop kind of stuff. It's she calls it soul pop. Okay, she calls
Okay.
the genre soul pop, and
Right.
it's just very beautiful and it talks to you like somewhere. It's just
That's
I love her description
very
also.
that's so cool. Yeah.
yeah.
A little brown
She's
girl
from
from a
Nepal.
little. Oh, she's from Nepal. Okay.
Oh, she's
Yeah,
from Nepal.
she's from Nepal, but now from Bangalore. So she's right now based in Bangalore, and
But speaking
it's
of
just
Nepal, right? Like speaking of Nepal, they have like some tremendous like musicians and talent. One of my favorite like artists from Nepal is someone called Jerusha Rai.
okay.
I haven't spoken like about her earlier, but she's amazing. Like Music Mandir did an interview with her like a while back. Uh, but yeah, she just came to mind because since you mentioned Nepal, she's another
Yeah,
amazing artist. Yeah.
Jerusha Rai.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's link her to the bottom
yeah.
of the page
Yes.
In the
Yes.
today.
description.
Although I used you hit upon something very interesting, and I cannot move further without making a song recommendation, because you said freedom has different meanings for different people. There was this fabulous songwriter, singer songwriter, not a single songwriter, like a gospel singer one of the greatest of all time. Actually, his name was. For the ones who follow the genre, his name was Solomon Burke, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course, right. Anybody who sort of follows
Yeah.
that whole rhythm and blues tradition
Hmm.
would know there's a song by him called "None of Us Are Free,"
Right.
and he says none of us are free till one of us is chained. None of us are free. So he was a pastor, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and who also was like a R&B singer, heavily influenced by the teachings of the church, obviously.
Okay.
And the song, I think, is talking about like there are friends and people all around the world who are not free. Until they are not free, there's no point celebrating any sort of freedom, and he does it so beautifully, he does it so soulfully. And there's obviously like a backing choir in that song, which is I think called the
Yeah.
Alabama's Blind Men's Choir or something, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I'm respectfully mistaken, not being disrespectful to that, because it's just such a soulful experience, that song. And I would highly recommend people to check it out. It
Cool.
captures
Cool.
everything there is. What's up with you, Jatin? What are you listening to?
Uh, I mean, the usual mostly. I've been binge listening to the Soulmate album, "Give Love," which
Yeah,
I think when we released our first episode, we spoke of them releasing it, which was I think 1st August. But the album is absolutely amazing. Like totally enjoyed it. Of course, it's all blues and rock and roll, and band from Shillong, and they're just almost veterans. Almost, I mean, they're not old, but they've just been playing live for like 3 decades now. I think it's insane, and they've played internationally. They've played every year at the Mahindra Blues Festival, and they're just such a soulful band. Of course, Tripti, the singer, and Rudy, the guitarist. Uh, amazing album. It just sounds like great. I definitely recommend it in case you guys haven't. uh, but mostly Soulmate, and then
let's do an
I came
in-depth review
across.
of that album when we can. Let's
Yeah,
take
yeah, yeah,
talk about every song, because
yeah,
I
yeah.
only
We can
started
go.
listening to it. Yeah.
Yeah, we can go like song wise, and yeah, for sure, for sure. But I wanted to bring this thing up. Have you guys seen the new Black Eyed Peas song?
I haven't. I mean, just before the podcast started, you were telling me about it. I know that, and it's
Yeah,
wacky.
so it's insane. Okay, I
Exactly.
they released it on like 7th August, and I heard it today morning. It's called Action. Okay, Black Eyed Peas, and to know, I haven't even started. Like, so the song starts with like a tribute to India and Bollywood. Like they state that in the description, and so the song is basically Will I Am's face, which is like using deep fake technology. It's been like superimposed on all of these crazy like movies from South India and Bollywood, right? So like you have the movie Robot with Rajnikant.
Yeah.
So it's him like firing
Oh.
guns in some crazy action scene, but it's Will I Am's face, and Will I Am is singing like the song. It's, I'm not kidding. Like this is real, right? And then there's another scene with the scene from Singham, right? The one with Ajay Devgan running and the car is flipping on top. And wait, pull that up if you can. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, this is it.
Oh.
Yeah,
This is
look at
mad,
that.
Oh,
dude.
that's exactly like this robot thing. Oh
This
shit.
is
Dude, it is the
Oh,
robot
did they
scene.
just take the face and put it there? Oh
yeah,
shit.
deep
Yeah,
fake.
it's just,
Yeah.
yeah, the deep face. So the face is also syncing, like it's lip syncing the song for the lyrics. And A.R. Rahman, look at that. A.R. Rahman,
Yeah. It's the borders are blurring through art.
yeah. And the song is nice. Okay, it's like a typical like
Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed Peas song, but then
Dude,
they
I love
used it,
this.
dude. That's what.
What
So
does
like,
it say? What are they saying about it?
Let me.
Like
If there
in
is.
the song.
so the movies that they took scenes from, like one of them is called uh, Maryada Ramayana, Robot,
Uh-huh.
Ambala. There's the movie called Cops,
Dude,
Singham. Yeah, like look at all this scene. Like you have the cars flying and
this
it's
is
got that guy.
this is some Rohit Shetty stuff, man, right there.
Dude, yeah, but like how
Yeah.
crazy is that? Like, you know, like if people thought
How did they
2020
manage to
is,
do that?
if you thought 2020 is like, you know, insane, like, and then this comes up, like it's like the biggest, I don't know what is that, cultural tectonic shifts, I think, like ever.
It's
And
beautiful, dude. It just makes me happy for some reason.
yeah, it makes me also very happy. So like it's not even like they're making fun of it, right? Like the description very clearly states that, you know, we love Bollywood music from Asha
Oh,
Bhosle
really?
to A.R. Rahman. and we're inspired, and all of that stuff, and like this is our tribute, this is our ode.
And they also have a message. They offer a message warning or a warning about the state of the world and the technology they use to make.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah,
says
that
we
part.
he says we have artificial intelligence, but we can't tell fake from the facts. Says scrolling text played at the end of the video. If we can't handle fake news, how can we handle deep fake? And
Yeah. So maybe it
I-
also has like a maybe it also has like a like something to be wary of, right? Like in the future. It could be like a warning sign sort of also, that if you can manipulate like these movies, I mean, and deep fake technology is like a very real threat today. Like you can literally manipulate like any video and make it seem like something else. And but I was blown away, man. I
this
just
is pretty
saw
cool.
it like
Yeah, I've been
randomly on
a
YouTube.
fan. I've been a fan of deepfake videos for a while now. I don't know if you've seen. They've morphed Chris D'Elia's face to Robert De Niro's face, and Joe Rogan's
Wow.
face to Joe Rogan's face to Sylvester Stallone's face, and they've got
There
this
is
really
one really insane one with like Bill Hader and Tom Cruise.
oh fuck.
Oh man, if you guys see that, I'll send the link. So it's actually one person talking, and in the middle, like the face just morphs into like Tom Cruise, and like as a person watching, like you don't even realize when that change happens. Like it's so seamless, but the face suddenly looks like Tom Cruise, and then you're like, wait, what is happening? It's really insane. Like
It's
deepfakes
trippy,
are,
yeah. And this is just like the visual bit, right? Like they're also doing it with sound. So what you
Oh,
can
yeah.
literally find out is Obama singing "Fuck the Police."
Yeah.
And he's like reading out from "Fuck the Police," coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got like very bad cause I'm brown, and now the other colors of police thing. And it's like, oh, why is Obama doing this? And it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
some-
Imagine like imagine all the kids, right? Like who are born like 2-3 years from now, and like they they come across these videos, they literally think that Trump was singing like songs like on YouTube, like in
that
his
is amazingly funny. I cannot stop watching
Yeah.
that. Oh my god. They recreated complete songs from his speeches.
and
That
imagine
is some
kids
trippy shit.
imagine kids who'd watch this Black Eyed Peas video and think that's their music video,
that
and
that
like
would be
not know that
insane,
there's
right?
and not knowing that there was a movie called Robot and it was Rajinikanth. Like how confusing is that future?
That's
Maybe-
what you're
maybe-
worried about.
Yeah.
That's I think that was the point.
Maybe they will also know to not trust things at the first instance. Like every time I look at a picture of like like a swimming pool with a great white shark in it, I'm like, yeah, Photoshop it. Right? And I think every time these people like in the next 20 years time, right, the kids who are going to be 20 in 20 years time, who are just born now, when they look at
Yeah.
that kind of stuff and they look at like a completely out of context picture, I think their first reaction is going to be is this fake or is it for real? Because that's what our reactions are to a lot of Photoshop stuff, and more often than not we can tell.
But in 20 years, it's gonna be crazy. Like the technology,
Dude, but,
we might have
like-
been at some level. You can't make out what's real and fake.
But
Yeah,
you
for
know
sure.
what? I'm more worried of a kid watching National Geographic, like seeing an actual like shark and then saying ye to Photoshop hai.
But I don't think it's going to happen, is that? I mean, look at how developed we are in understanding what is Photoshop and what is
But-
not between you and I.
But why not, yeah? Like people are anyways getting carried away with like fake news.
But technology moves on both sides, I think. So as there's going to be more technology, it's my understanding. Okay, none of us are futurists here, so we don't know shit.
yeah.
Right. But I think when one part of it moves further, which is like creating these kind of things, another part which is actually going to be able to detect these kind of things is also going to move further. And
Probably.
Instagram and all these people have already started doing it. Like I know for a fact that there was this lady who put up a fake quote by Einstein the other day, and before you could click on that quote, Instagram actually, IG stories actually gave a warning. This is potentially
Misleading.
misleading.
Visualize.
Do you want to click on it? And that was just a quote. So that means they've
Oh.
already started figuring out at the simplest and the smallest level
Yeah.
how things can be manipulated, right? So I think
Wow.
with something as sophisticated as
Yeah.
sound and video, they're definitely going to have something, I don't know, maybe some sort of like a barcode in, or some sort of tagging which will happen that this was actually Robert De Niro, or this was actually Rajnikant or
Yeah.
somebody else, and we recommend you move ahead with discretion. And
Yeah.
just like and then we know, like, I mean, my parents have used, at least till a year ago, my parents had a hard time figuring out what was a Photoshop and what was not. I mean, and
Yeah.
just to take it
Yeah.
away
Oh,
slightly,
they still do, man.
they still do, right? Like, look at the number of
Definitely
images.
do.
Look at the number of images they have morphed of our freedom fighters and all into like very, very weird places, right? And you're like,
Yeah.
how is this
Yeah.
happening, right?
Yeah.
And that sort of stuff, I think people start, their bullshit detectors start going on, like,
You named it also.
bullshit. Yeah, bullshit
Bullshit
detector is a thing.
detect.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh, really?
I don't take the
It
credit
is.
for it. Yeah. There's a great
Yeah.
author, right? Nassim Taleb, right? He says our bodies are essentially information processing mechanisms, and so we know when we are seeing bullshit. Like, we have a tendency of knowing. Anyway, I mean, that's going away from the topic. What else? I know there was something very interesting in news which Jatin and I at least were very, very interested. We were discussing it too, which was Badshah buying fake views or fake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
So apparently the Mumbai police have already said that Badshah so allegedly confesses, okay, that like he paid money for a huge number of social media followers, which obviously are fake and come from server farms, etc. But he happened to pay something like 72 lakhs, like for like 7.2, what is that, crore views.
yeah, Jatin, you want to explain to people what a server farm is? Also, for a lot of people might not get it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a farm, man. Like,
What?
It's
not
also
a farm.
okay. I think it's also called a click farm.
yeah, no. So
And, yeah.
basically, so I can explain like a little bit of it. So a server is nothing but it's like a machine, right? It's like a laptop which is like programmed to do like repetitive tasks like again and again and again and again, right? So like you can use a computer to do like the same tasks maybe like 1,000 times. So manually, if you did it like 10 times a day, like the machine could just do it 1,000 times, and then you run that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and then you have something that just goes automatically. So here we're talking about like one machine. At a server farm would be like hundreds of machines or like thousands of machines. So basically what a program could do is basically just create a new Instagram user and then just hit follow Badshah. Like you just need to program that once.
Oh.
And then that just runs again and again. So the moment Badshah releases like a song, you activate like the server farm, and then you just see his followers from 1.1 million, 1.2 million, 1.3 million, 1.4 million. You know, it
Yeah, this
just
is
runs
some
on its
different
own.
level scamming.
Yes,
And-
it is.
But the larger point is that like he's not the first to figure this out, right?
Definitely. Just
Yeah,
got
but-
caught, I guess.
Yeah, he's just one of the many. Like, so a lot of these social media influencers, big brands, a lot of them do it in maybe not such an extravagant way, but they do it in some little way. Like everyone has kind of bots that run on Instagram, Twitter. You know, I've
But
experimented
eventually
with
you
bots
buy
also.
bots and then you actually get popular, right? Like because
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
so-
have
that's
them.
the baseline of it. I do think there is one little thing which is also an added layer, right? Which is the moment you say you have like 5 million followers, and out of those 2 million or 2.5 million are your fake bots people, right? Uh, what happens is now, and this is important to understand because uh, you go to a sponsor now. Badshah goes to, or Badshah or any other artist goes to another brand to say, you know, like, I'm gonna do some sponsored content for you guys, right? And a lot of these agencies who are running campaigns, and it can be any campaign. It can be a campaign for sneakers, it can be campaign for beer. Like you see a lot of these hip hop artists promoting beer, sneakers, sunglasses,
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
For example, he goes to a company and the company is like, okay, how many followers do you have? We will pay you according to the media strength that you have, because at the end of the day, it's about how many people can a company reach based on their investment, right? Now, what is happening is the moment Badshah or somebody, whoever it is, says that I have 5 million followers, he's actually charging money for a fraudulent thing. Like if a company invests in him, they will not get the return of investment, return on investment for 5 million. They'll actually get it only for like say 2 million, right? Or 2.5 million. So whatever that money which other person is spending on Badsha now is actually spent on a fraudulent activity. Now, if I was just doing it, for my own happiness, for my narcissism, that's okay. But the moment like bigger money gets involved in it, corporate money gets involved in
The
return of
people are
investment,
involved. Yeah.
people start taking this shit really seriously. And that's why there is a lot of difference between doing it from a bot farm, because bot farm is not going to be your end buyer. When Bacha gets sponsored by a sneaker brand, the bot is not going to buy sneakers. But when Bacha has 2 million real followers, they might be influenced
They're
to
the ones
buy
who are going.
a great sneaker, right? So it gets multiple parties involved, and that's why it's so effed up, right? And that's why I think
for
it
sure.
becomes because a lot of people run ads is not a problem. Buying views is not a problem. Buying fake views through a click farm, or like what Jatin was explaining, right? I think that is a problem, because that's not a real person at the end of it who can add value to anybody.
No,
And that's
also
fraud.
like on a broader sense, you're also affecting like the organic algorithm of these platforms, right? So Instagram, at least in its initial days, had a very simple algorithm, which is if a post was getting engagement, like organic engagement, it would put it up in the discover, the main page, right, where
The
you can
homepage,
discover stuff like that.
yeah.
So then these are just techniques of people trying to infiltrate that thing, you know,
Be
like
there,
so. It again makes it
Pull the
again difficult.
algorithm.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for Instagram then to identify, you know, a bot engagement with like a real engagement, because like there
Now
are
they do, like they can track too many engage, like if
it's
you repeatedly do that and all that stuff.
yeah
So they're trying to like
but again I you know, like everyone gives shit to like a lot of these tech companies, right? Like, oh, there's fake news, you know, you need to moderate, you don't need to moderate, allow, don't allow. But if you think of
it's
it,
a
like who
debate.
like who's the one causing the problems? It's the stupid people on the
People.
platform. Yeah. And like you need to, I mean, there needs to be guidelines, right? Like, okay, you have freedom, but you don't have freedom to put, you know,
Dumb shit.
anything and everything. And and then it, it's like a much broader discussion. It's like the flat earth community, right?
I was thinking about the
Human
exact same
behavior,
thing.
guys.
So they
Yes.
actually, they actually like, and the funniest thing is like on their Twitter bio, it says like we have fans all over the globe. So it's like you believe in like a flat earth, and then you have followers all
Is that
over
for
the
real
globe.
though?
I think it was, until someone pointed it
Is
out
it
and
just
then
like
they
a
edited it.
parody of the whole thing?
I don't care, but
Dude,
you know, like whatever that is, like it's something, right? Like it's the kind of. But you know, coming back to like the Badshah thing, like I have like some points here, right? It's actually crazy, like the valuation. So Badshah, again, this is not proven. This is, you know,
going on.
the stories.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing investigation. So he purchases 7.2 crore views for 72 lakhs, and this is for a YouTube video, right? So I mean, if you can manipulate Instagram, you can manipulate any of these platforms. Then he claims the music video for Pagal Hai, which is, I don't know, his latest track, had been viewed 75 million times in the first day, beating viewer records of Taylor Swift and BTS. This is what he claims, and then obviously it's rejected by Google, because Google's like, new number, who's this? Like,
What is happening?
like you know, Google's just like,
We didn't
wait, like,
make
yeah,
this happen. What?
like, where's the shoot, and like, where's breakfast? But very interesting stuff. Okay, check this out. So it goes deeper, right? So Badshah's latest track is some song called Gainda Fool. So Badshah pays the original creator of Gainda Fool, who happens to be like this really old school Bengali composer. Okay, his name is Ratan Kahar. So he pays him 5 lakhs as a humanitarian gesture, and then goes ahead and
5
spends 5 lakhs, and then goes ahead and spends 75 lakh on paid promotions for for Pagal, which is like another track. And what's extremely interesting here is that so Pagal releases, and after 1 year, it has 271 million whatever likes, like the video. And Gainda Fool released like 5 months back, and it has 500 million like likes, uh, which if you actually think of it is insane, right? Like so in 1 year you touch like 271 million, and then in 5 months you touch like 500 million. And if you actually see uh, basic things, like if you have 500 followers and you get 1 million likes, uh, there's obviously something that's is being played at. But this is the crazy thing. This also comes down to like the point, of giving credits to songwriters. And this Gainda Fool thing was like, it was brought to his notice, right? So like when people were hearing the song, like a lot of like Bengali people or other people, they were like, hey, this thing is from like a much older kind of track. Yeah, it's like an actual folk song. And I heard the song. It's beautifully done. Okay. And this,
it is.
yeah.
And some PR officer somewhere was like, I think Bacha, what you need to do is actually, as a humanitarian gesture, go to that particular songwriter and give him like 5 lakh rupees, and we will do like two or
And
three
you get
stories.
publicity also.
Yeah, we'll do 2-3 stories
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
And it's amazing. Okay, so you'll see like two different kinds of articles on this, like online. So the one article actually states that like Badshah, once the song released, like people came to Badshah and said, hey, no, this is this sample. I mean, and it's so funny, like the modern generation calls it like a sample, and like people on the other side is like, dude, that's not a sample, it's
a steal,
a
that's
song.
stealing.
It's the whole song.
It's a composed finished product, like and so then people brought that to his notice, and then Badshah, being the Badshah that he is, he reaches out to the artist, and on humanitarian grounds gets him registered with the music industry, because he claims that the song was not copyrighted, there was no information of that available online. And so the 5 lakhs is like to help him get registered, so that like the next generation Badshah does not steal the same song and make like $1 million. So again, it's like it's super complicated, but
It's
comes
funny
down to like
how if something is not on the internet, it doesn't exist. It's
yeah
new, like
That's
if you're not
yeah.
visible, it's just not there.
but it's also
that's a
lack
very
of
super fucked
lack
up,
of giving a shit, right? Like it's just that when it's only when art, like not artists, I mean more like I assume that 90% of artists are like really straightforward about such things and take it seriously, but then there is a section that kind of just doesn't give a shit, right? Like you have
I think it happens when artists get mixed up with marketers, really.
I think it's all the marketers and not the artists.
But to be that's also there, but to be like very
they
very
make
honest,
them do stuff.
to be very very honest, it's not fair to only blame like the current composers or whatever. So there is like historical facts of even our great guys from the 60s and 70s also ripping off like a lot of tunes from like Elvis Presley songs.
Absolutely.
And even that
ABBA
goes backwards, right? Like even Elvis Presley stole songs from people, like tunes or rhythms from people who were making songs in the 20s or like in the 30s. So it's a much bigger story. It's not only that Badshah is stealing songs, right? There's like a lot of people. Like my next door neighbor could be like a song stealer, man. Like from
I think
some
sometimes
generation.
you don't even know that you're stealing it.
Yeah,
Like,
that
you
again.
heard
That
it
again.
somewhere, and then you heard
Yeah.
some folk thing in your childhood, and it just comes
Yeah.
up, and you're
Yeah.
thinking, how do you track this stuff? Like,
But
it's
if
not
it was done,
documented.
like the whole point is, if it was done intentionally, then it's a shitty
of
thing
course,
to do.
of course.
I think that's the point that
I
we're
think
trying to make.
intention matters. Yes.
And I think Mumbai police has figured that. Otherwise, they wouldn't be wasting their time on this.
Yeah, we basically have 10 more minutes to go.
Awesome. For So anything that Akash wants to share? I think we should do like a indie music recommendation thing also.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
have been
So
listening to. Go for it. Go for it. Sorry.
no, it's okay. So just one recommendation that I absolutely have to give today
Hmm.
is a band called Mad Orange Fireworks, and I've just
Okay.
been listening to these guys all week. And
Okay.
they're based from Bangalore. They're a Bangalore-based band. They're pretty small right now, but their music is really mature
Oh,
and it
here they
feels,
are on the screen.
yeah, that's them. And
Awesome.
one of my most favorite songs from their albums is one called Funny Feeling, and it's
Okay.
just very playful and still soulful at the same time. Like it talks to
Hmm.
you again. Also, the artist that I mentioned first in the starting,
Yeah.
who like sings with them sometimes.
Oh.
So that's the
Oh, they're
yeah
together. Okay.
she
Oh. Okay.
yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
So
S-
even those guys make like really fun music.
So we're
They're
definitely
worth
giving.
checking out definitely
Yeah, we're definitely adding them in
in
the
the link.
description. And if any
Yeah,
of the band members are listening to this,
are listening.
uh, we'd love to have you
We
on the
would love to
podcast
have you
too.
guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
We would love to talk about your stuff.
Your music.
Oh, they also seem to be
Yes.
doing a lot of cool bands covers. Like there's a
Covers,
yeah, like
yeah.
there's a Police tribute gig, if I'm not mistaken. A tribute to Police. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is also a tribute to Beatles somewhere up there. So like
Yeah.
they basically the hardcore rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And even
Makes
I
sense.
like the bio also, straight up rock band with some good tunes minus all the bullshit. Yeah,
Yeah, they're
you-
very
yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. So there's like another thing that I wanted to mention is this the Association of Independent Music. I think it's like it's like a foreign organization. They keep having these awards for independent artists, and they had a winner for best independent album uh, in association with Spotify. Goes to this guy called Sarathi Conver. I used to
oh
actually
yeah.
hear Sarathi's music a while back, and it's very cool that he actually won the award. And it says for his album More Arriving, explaining the reality of being Indian in a divided Britain. So I think he settled in like the UK, but
Oh.
it's very jazz influenced. He's also a drummer, so definitely check out Sarathi Conver. Really cool album and
Let's link him up.
interesting sounds. Yeah, for sure. We'll link it in the description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not really been listening to too much indie as such. I've just been obsessed with a particular band, and
Hmm.
I have just been blown away by the overall sound of this band called Young Fathers. And
Young Fathers.
Young Fathers, they're very
Okay.
interesting. They're a trio from Scotland, from Edinburgh. One of them is
Okay.
from Nigeria. The other one is from like a native of Glasgow itself, and I forgot where the third gentleman is from. And they are one of those. It's almost like somebody very nicely mentioned it, that it's almost like if TV on the radio and if TV on the radio and Jill Scott Heron had a love child, and the love child was triplets who were multiracial. So
What?
yeah, it's a pretty awesome because
Very specific.
yeah, very specific because TV on the radio is one of my
Yeah.
favorite bands of all time.
Yeah.
And Jill Scott Heron is obviously the famous person who made what is the word we use for it these days? Stand-up poetry? What is it? Slam poetry? No, what is it?
Oh,
Slam,
yeah.
It's called
Yeah, I think
slam.
slam poetry. Yeah.
Slam
Yeah.
poetry slam, right? He is the guy who sort of spoken word. Sorry, the word.
Spoken words.
Jill
Yeah.
Scott Heron made spoken word very famous. One of the most famous of all time is a piece called "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised."
Yeah.
That's Jill Scott Heron, right? So that band actually sounds like a mixture of TV on the radio and Massive Attack and Jill Scott Heron, basically. And there's a song that I would really want people to check out is a song called Toy. One of the most electrifying performances I've seen in recent times on Jules Holland show. We will link that up. And I was wondering where have I heard these people before, and I realized again they have an association with one of my all-time favorite acts, Massive Attack. There is a song which is a collaboration between Massive Attack and Young Fathers called Voodoo in My Blood. And and not only is the song great, the video is one of the coolest videos you'll ever watch. It's a mesmerizing video. It features
let's link that up.
Let's link that up. It features the lady from Gone Girl, who was the main actress at Gone Girl.
Oh man,
yes, I keep forgetting. Yes,
Rose something. No,
yeah. I forgot the name really.
Okay.
But it's a hypnotic track. So these guys are like really sort of pushing things in the right direction. I've just started listening to Randolph's new album, so too early for me to say anything. We're gonna come back and talk a bit about that. There's another thing that I wanted to discuss, but we are gonna absolutely run out of time.
We're running out of time.
Is Christopher Nolan's new association, right? He's legendary for his work with Hans Zimmer on all the Dark Knight and Inception movies, and Interstellar and everything else, and Dunkirk. But he's started working with Ludwig van Göransson, and people are wondering what that is going to turn out to be like. And I just have a lot of good things to say about Ludwig Göransson, which we are going to get into probably next episode, because we'll be getting closer to the release of Tenet across the world by next week. A lot of early reviews will have come in, and I am going to be so psyched about it.
Wait, how do you know the early reviews? Has it already been released?
The first press screening happens tomorrow on Monday for a lot of people. So tomorrow is probably going to be the first time people are going to be watching Tenet. At least some people are going to be watching Tenet.
And it's going to be, I can't wait for like what
I cannot
the
wait.
reviews.
Yes,
and it's got the Indian actress. What's her name?
Dimple Kapadia.
Dimple Kapadia. Yeah.
She's not an Indian actress. She's one of the Indian actresses.
Okay.
Sorry.
My bad. Like I apologize, but I just suddenly got confused with with Twinkle Khanna, and then I didn't want to say that.
That's her mother.
Yeah. And I just got confused. But it's got her. That's pretty epic, man. Christopher Nolan movie, Dimple Kapadia.
Oh yeah, I mean Nolan was.
What else is people looking for? Like,
jeez, and it's largely shot in Mumbai also. So Tenet is
That's what I heard. Yeah.
In fact, the trailer itself, the first scene is actually Breach Candy Hospital. And the way you know it's India, because it's got those tiles which are Indian tiles, which multicolored tiles on the terraces of Mumbai flats that you So anyway, I think we have run out of time. It's a good thing. We have less than a minute left. Thank you for tuning in, people. That's Shravani, that's Jatin, I am Akash. We are Musicmandir, and this is podcast number 3. And let us know what you think in the comment section. Share this with everybody.
Yes, and see you next week.
See you next week.
Goodbye. See you guys next week.
Bye.